Have you ever noticed how a single sentence can completely ruin your day? How a disdainful look, a mean comment on social media, or even someone's silence can steal your peace for hours, sometimes for entire days? If the answer is yes, you're not alone. In fact, you're part of the 99% of people who make the exact same mistake every day. A mistake so subtle that most don't even realize it's happening, and worse, this mistake is robbing you of your personal power, your emotional stability, and your ability to live a truly free life. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover can completely change how you deal with people and your own emotions. We're talking about something psychologists call an external locus of control, but I'll translate that in a way that will make immediate sense in your life. Basically, it's when you unconsciously hand over control of your emotions to other people. It's when you wake up feeling good, but all it takes is someone ignoring you at work for you to start questioning your worth. It's when you're confident, but a criticism on social media makes you spend the whole night dwelling on those words. It's when your happiness depends on the approval of others, on the behavior of third parties, on external validation. Have you ever been through this? Think about it. How many times have you allowed someone's bad mood to contaminate yours? How many times has someone left you hanging and you became anxious, creating 1,000 scenarios in your head, losing focus on everything you were doing? How many times have you completely changed your self-image because of an external opinion? This is the central problem of uncontrolled emotional vulnerability. It's not that you're weak or overly sensitive. The real problem is much deeper and much more dangerous. You still believe that other people have the power to hurt you. And here's the uncomfortable truth no one told you. They only have that power because you gave it to them. Unconsciously, of course. No one wakes up and thinks, "Today I am going to hand over control of my inner peace to anyone who crosses my path." But that's exactly what happens when you allow other people's words to define your worth. When you let the behavior of others determine your emotional state. When your self-esteem rises and falls according to likes, comments, or approving glances. You've basically turned other people into remote controllers of your emotional life, and they don't even need to push many buttons to completely destabilize you. What you're about to discover might surprise you, because we're going beyond the surface. I am not just talking about ignoring the haters or not caring what others think. That advice is shallow and doesn't work because it doesn't address the root of the problem. The real issue is that you've been conditioned since childhood to seek external validation, to measure your success by the reactions of others, to feel that you need the approval of others to feel complete. And as long as this pattern continues to operate on autopilot in your mind, you will remain vulnerable, continue to hurt yourself, continue to give your power to people who shouldn't even have access to your emotions. So get ready, because we're going to deconstruct this dangerous illusion and reveal exactly how you can regain complete control over your emotional life. The path to true psychological invulnerability starts now, and everything you believed about emotional protection is about to be transformed. But before we continue, I need to ask you something. If this topic resonates with you, if you've ever found yourself in a situation where you unknowingly surrendered your emotional power to others, leave a comment below about what has resonated with you so far. Tell me, when was the last time you let someone control your emotions? Was it a comment on social media? Was it someone who ignored you? Was it a criticism that stuck in your head? I read all the comments and want to understand your story, because each account below strengthens this community of people who are seeking the same thing as you: real emotional control and psychological freedom. And look, if you're enjoying this content, if you feel that this goes beyond the shallow, the superficial, leave a like on the video. It may seem like a small gesture, but it makes all the difference. Your like not only helps the algorithm to take this message to more people who need to hear it, but it also shows me that I'm on the right track, that this type of deep content about the psychology of power and emotional control really resonates with you. Your participation here is what makes this channel grow and reach more people who are struggling with this emotional vulnerability that no one teaches them how to combat. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and activate the bell. Why? Because what we're building here isn't just another generic self-help channel. We're creating a complete arsenal of techniques, strategies, and insights into the psychology of power that you won't find anywhere else in this direct and straightforward way. Every week there's new content about emotional mastery, psychological manipulation, mental protection strategies, and everything involving the dark side of human psychology that people are afraid to talk about openly. If you want to continue on this journey to becoming emotionally invulnerable, this is the right place. Now let's delve even deeper, because understanding the problem is only the first step. What really changes the game is when you discover exactly how the minds of people who have already achieved this absolute emotional control work, those who seem immune to any attack, any provocation, any attempt at destabilization. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject, because there's a hidden truth that separates people who live at the mercy of others' emotions from those who seem to have an invisible shield around them. This shield has a name in psychology: emotional detachment. And no, this doesn't mean becoming a cold, insensitive person or disconnected from reality. Quite the opposite. Emotional detachment is the sophisticated ability to observe without absorbing, to witness without allowing the poison to enter your system. It's a subtle distinction, but one that makes all the difference between those who control their emotions and those who are controlled by them. Consider this powerful metaphor. When someone verbally attacks you, criticizes you, provokes you, or tries to destabilize you, you have two options for how to react internally. You can be the sponge that absorbs every drop of that attack, expanding, becoming heavy, carrying that weight for days. Or you can be the mirror that simply reflects back what was thrown at you, without leaving marks, without allowing it to stick to your surface. The sponge suffers because it retains everything. The mirror remains intact because nothing stays on it. This is the essence of emotional separation. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending nothing happened. It's about creating a strategic distance between the external stimulus and your internal reaction. A psychological space where you can consciously choose what will affect you and what will simply slide off. People who master this skill have developed something that seems almost supernatural to those still stuck in sponge mode. They can be in toxic environments without becoming contaminated. They can hear insults without being offended. They can see the anger of others as a symptom, not a sentence. And the most fascinating part of this transformation is that these people weren't born this way. They trained this mindset. They made conscious decisions about how to process the world around them. Look at historical figures like Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, suffering constant humiliation, and when he was released he wasn't consumed by hatred. He had developed an impressive ability to separate what was happening around him from what was happening inside him. Or think of FBI hostage negotiators. Professionals trained to remain in situations of extremely high emotional pressure and maintain absolute mental clarity while people shout, threaten, and provoke. They are not robots. They simply understand that reacting emotionally hands control over to the other side. This strategic emotional neutrality is the secret behind leaders who make crucial decisions under pressure, high-performance athletes who don't crumble in critical moments, and ordinary people who manage to leave toxic relationships without carrying resentment for the rest of their lives. The impact of this skill and quality of life is immense. Imagine waking up knowing that no one has the power to ruin your day. Imagine going to a difficult meeting or having a complicated conversation and leaving it without that feeling of emotional exhaustion that haunts you for hours. Imagine seeing someone trying to provoke you and simply feeling nothing more than a slight curiosity about why that person is acting that way. But here's the part no one tells you behind the scenes of this transformation. Emotional detachment is indifference. It's not coldness. It's not becoming heartless. It's exactly the opposite. When you develop this strategic distance, you actually become more capable of feeling genuine emotions because you're no longer wasting your emotional energy on the toxic garbage others throw at you. You choose where to invest your heart, your empathy, your vulnerability. And that conscious choice is what gives you real power. The most emotionally strong people you've ever met aren't those who never feel anything. They're those who feel deeply, but only when and with whom they choose. They protect their emotional energy as a valuable resource and don't give it away to just anyone who comes along. The big revelation here is that this journey to becoming emotionally invulnerable begins with a simple but radical decision. Stop accepting everything thrown at you. Stop being the automatic sponge. Start consciously developing this mirror layer, this ability to observe without being invaded. And the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. There comes a point where you don't even need to make an effort. Your mind automatically processes external attacks as background noise, not as real threats to your identity. If this resonates with you, if you're starting to see how this emotional separation could completely change your life, comment below. I choose to be the mirror. I want to see how many people here are truly ready for this transformation. Now let's move on to the more practical part of this whole journey, because understanding the theory is fundamental. But what truly brings about transformation are the concrete tools you can apply immediately to your life. I'm talking about techniques that work behind the scenes in your mind, creating a real psychological shield. There are 3 strategies I'm going to share with you now, and each one has the power to radically change how you process emotional attacks, criticism, and attempts at This is the arsenal that no one taught you in school, that your parents probably didn't know about, and that can be the difference between living as a hostage to other people's emotions or finally achieving your emotional freedom. The first technique I call internal observer, and it's incredibly powerful once you get the hang of it. It works like this. The next time someone attacks you, criticizes you, or tries to provoke you, instead of diving into the emotion and reacting automatically, you're going to do a simple but revolutionary mental exercise. You're going to imagine yourself leaving your own body and watching that scene from the outside, as if you were a film director observing 2 actors interacting. Visualize this. You're up there, or to the side, seeing yourself and the other person in that situation. When you do this, something fascinating happens in your brain. You create an instant psychological distance between the event and your emotional reaction. It's no longer this person is attacking me. It becomes I'm observing one person attacking another person. It seems subtle, but the impact is enormous. You move out of automatic defense mode and into conscious analysis mode, and in that space between stimulus and response, you regain your power of choice. You can decide if it deserves your emotional energy or if it's just another noise that you'll let pass. The second technique is cognitive reinterpretation, and this one completely changes the game when you master it. The central idea is simple but profound. When someone attacks you with anger, malice, or destructive criticism, it's never really about you. It's always about that person's internal pain, frustration, insecurity, or unresolved trauma projecting outward. Think about it this way: happy, fulfilled, and emotionally balanced people don't go through life attacking others. They don't need to. Those who attack are unloading something that's hurting them inside. So instead of absorbing that criticism as if it were a truth about who you are, you begin to see it as a symptom of the other person's weaknesses. When someone insults you in traffic, it's not because you're a bad person. It's because that person is so internally out of control that a trivial event made them explode. When someone criticizes you on social media with hatred, it's not about your content. It's about that person's desperate need to feel superior to compensate for their own inadequacy. This change of perspective is liberating. You stop taking things personally because you realize it never was personal. You were just in the way of someone who needed to unload their toxicity somewhere. The third technique is what I call the emotional discarding ritual. And this one is especially important because even when you apply the first two techniques perfectly, sometimes some negative energy manages to cling to you. It's natural. You're not a robot. So you need a conscious process to clear it before it accumulates and becomes that emotional snowball that leaves you exhausted. The ritual works like this. Set aside 2 minutes of your day, preferably right after a difficult interaction or at the end of the day. Close your eyes and do a mental visualization exercise. Imagine all those toxic emotions, those mean comments, those heavy energies like dark smoke inside your chest. Breathe deeply and, with each exhale, visualize this smoke leaving your body and dissipating into the air. You can literally make the gesture of shaking your hands, as if you were wiping dirt off them. You can imagine you're taking a shower and all that negativity is going down the drain. The important thing is to create a conscious moment of release, of letting go. Don't let it accumulate. Don't let that become emotional baggage that you carry into the next day, the next week, the next month. This 2-minute ritual may seem silly, but it's one of the most effective mental hygiene practices there is. Great leaders, elite athletes, and people with very high levels of emotional intelligence do some version of it without even realizing it. These 3 techniques together form a complete system of emotional protection. The internal observer gives you distance. Cognitive reinterpretation gives you perspective. The discarding ritual gives you cleansing. When you combine these strategies and practice consistently, you build a real psychological shield. And best of all, the more you use them, the more automatic they become. There comes a point where you don't even need to consciously think about applying these techniques. They become a natural part of how you process the world. If you've made it this far and are seeing the practical value of these revelations, comment below. I'm building my defenses. I want to know who's taking this seriously. Now I need to be brutally honest with you about something that most people who talk about emotional control simply ignore. And this honesty is what will make all the difference on your journey. There's a dark side to this quest for emotional invulnerability, a price you may end up paying if you're not aware of what you're doing, and I'd rather prepare you for that now than let you discover it in the worst possible way later. The hidden truth is that extreme emotional control, when misapplied, can transform you into someone you never wanted to be. It can lead to profound isolation, excessive coldness that pushes genuine people away from your life, and a gradual loss of the ability to create authentic connections. I've seen this happen to people who took emotional shielding too far and ended up alone, protected from everyone, including those who truly mattered. What happens behind the scenes of this poorly managed transformation is dangerous. You start by applying emotional separation techniques with toxic people, which is perfect. But if you're not careful, this becomes an automatic way of operating with everyone. You build walls so high that not even those who deserve your vulnerability can get through. You become that person who never opens up, who never shows weakness, who never allows anyone to see beyond the surface. And then, even when you find someone special, someone who genuinely cares about you, you can't let your guard down. The shield that should protect you from enemies ends up isolating you from allies as well. This is the fatal mistake that many people make on this journey, and that is exactly why I need to show you the difference between healthy protection and destructive emotional closure. The distinction is subtle but crucial. Healthy protection is when you keep your emotional energy preserved from people who do you and deserve access to it. Toxic, manipulative people, those who only appear to drain your peace. Destructive closure is when you indiscriminately block everyone, when you lose the ability to discern who is truly worthwhile. The impact of this confusion on your life can be devastating. Genuine relationships die because you can no longer connect. Opportunities for love, true friendship, and meaningful partnerships pass you by while you're locked in your emotional fortress. And the worst part is that you may not even realize what you were missing until it's too late. So here's the secret that changes everything. You don't need to be cold to everyone. In fact, you shouldn't be. What you need to develop is conscious emotional selectivity. Think of it as circles of trust. In the outermost circle are strangers, random people from everyday life. Those you don't know and who have no relevance in your life. With these people, total shielding. They don't deserve, nor should they have, access to your emotions. In the middle circle are acquaintances, work colleagues, those people you interact with regularly but who haven't yet proven anything. With these, you maintain a polite, cordial, but protected neutrality. You don't reveal vulnerability, but you also don't need to be ice. And then, in the inner circle, are the people who have demonstrated over time that they deserve your trust, your heart, your vulnerability. These are the ones who have proven through consistent actions that they won't use your weaknesses against you, that they truly support you, that they genuinely care about your well-being. With this inner circle, you can and should allow yourself to feel deeply. You can let your guard down. You can be vulnerable, because emotional control isn't about never feeling. It's about feeling only when and with whom you choose. It's about protecting your energy from the wrong people so you can fully invest in the right ones. This is the mindset that keeps you protected without turning you into someone closed off and isolated. You become selective, not insensitive. You become strategic, not cold. And that difference changes everything. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that emotional strength means never opening up, never trusting, never taking risks. But true strength lies in knowing exactly when to open up and when to close yourself off. It lies in having the wisdom to recognize who deserves your heart and who deserves only your polite indifference. When you master this art of emotional selectivity, you experience the best of both worlds: protection from toxic people and the depth of real connections with valuable people. You are no longer vulnerable to just anyone, but you are also not closed off to everyone. You become someone the wrong people can't hurt and the right people can reach. This revelation about circles of trust can save you from wasting years building a fortress that protects you from enemies but also isolates you from allies. The journey to true emotional invulnerability isn't about becoming impervious to everything and everyone. It's about developing the intelligence to know what you need to protect yourself against and who you can safely open up to. If you're understanding this fundamental nuance, if you're seeing how this selectivity completely changes the game, comment below. Intelligent protection, not total isolation. That shows me you've grasped the essence.